Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Guys, you have been loving the positional videos. I have played way too much FIFA. Oh my god, I've played way too much. So I've played, yeah, I'm embarrassed because I've already played 320 or something odd games of FIFA, but I guess it's my job. And listen, I've played all that in a month, and we are going to do a video on the best midfielders that you can use in this game. We did a video on the best attackers like just a couple days ago, so I'll link that down below if you want to check that out. We also did a video like a couple weeks ago about best players in each position, but I just kind of want to update it as we go throughout the year. And if you enjoy the video today, a thumbs up is very, very supportive and helpful. And thank you guys all for watching my videos. I just want to say I appreciate all you guys. The content is there for you guys to enjoy it, and I'm glad that you are enjoying it. So I'm going to try my best to like not go over too many icons. I think I will go through some heroes. I kind of like to stick to golds and promo cards because I just know that for viewers all around, you know, not everyone is spending a lot of money on this game. I'm not at all, but it's just like you guys want players that are affordable and not players you have to go on the market or I guess in the store and load up for or whatever, man. So we're gonna try to keep them like somewhat cheap. That's what I like to do with these videos. So the first one I would say comes to the top of my mind is Kevin De Bruyne. So Kevin De Bruyne is very unique this year because he has the ability to pass the ball like no other player with 94 passing, and he's also got the ability, that's his inform. His gold is 93, so there's not much difference. But the main thing with De Bruyne is that he's got all of the meta traits, and that's what makes him like such a good midfielder. He's got the ability to rip the trivela on the outside foot. He's got the long shot taker trait, and then he also has a 5-star weak foot with high. So De Bruyne has always been a player that I totally recommend to everybody in FIFA because I feel like he works very hard, and his work rates really enable him to do that. He's also got 5-star weak foot. So De Bruyne for sure. We could go with the gold. I don't think the inform is worth it. My take on informs is that it's never worth it unless you get the double inform. So for example, if you have the gold, I don't think it's worth buying the first inform ever. I think the second inform is where you'll notice it because that's when the upgrades will be probably like +3, +4 from the gold. So save 600k and just get gold Kevin De Bruyne. He is a lot more affordable. You know, this is a very unique year because I think Luka Modric is very good in this game. You know, you could go with this gold. I do think in this case, I'm completely throwing what I just said out the window, but I think in this case, like Luka Modric's inform is insane. 4-star for him, medium, 75 pace, 89 dribbling, 90 passing, just incredible. And what you'll notice for me this year is that pace in the midfield is important, but it's not as vital and key as it used to be. I think it's important, but it's not crazy. And you're looking for players that have, again, some of the better traits like outside foot, because not only are trivela shots overpowered, but long switches and long passes with the L2 is very good to use as well. And not to mention Modric just has out of this world dribbling. You guys can see, I mean, that responsiveness in the midfield is just quite frankly should be illegal. So Modric is also a really nice cheap option as well. He's a lot more affordable. You know, he's only, that inform is only like 100k. So if you're looking to spend a little bit, between him and De Bruyne, they're two different players. I'd probably go with actually Modric, which is crazy to say. Frankie de Jong, I would also include. He's only about 50k. He's a really nice card because he is defensively very sound, and then he's also good going forward. His shooting isn't the best, but his ball control is very good. His short passing is good, and again, he's 50k with links with Barca. Outside foot, you'll notice again, which I'm a huge fan of on midfielders, and I think is really important. Leon Goretzka, also really like him. You know, we're kind of starting with gold cards, but I figured that would be best. He's also 52, 53k, around that price point, so not crazy expensive. You're not gonna have to go crazy for Goretzka. 4-star weak foot, Bayern links. The unique thing with Goretzka is going to be his strength, also combined with his shooting ability, right? He's got long shot taker trait, no outside foot, but he's got 85 shot power. So him and De Jong are actually really nice options. And when you think about it, it's actually pretty crazy that you can get De Jong and Goretzka for like the price of a De Bruyne, right? So that's where you start to look at it and, you know, think a little differently of how can I make the best midfield for cheap. And Nkunku is somebody that I wanted to point out just due to the fact that he's got 5-star skills, and I think Nkunku actually has the greatest dribbling responsiveness out of any midfielder, even better than Modric. There's something about when players in this game get 5-star skills, I don't know what it is, but they actually just move different in game, and I really feel that on a serious level with Nkunku. He's got the outside foot shot trade as well. So super unique there. And yeah, super nice card, right? Also a guy that, you know, if you actually wanted to, you can move forward a little bit, right? You could put him at like center forward. I have seen him be very effective in that position. All right. Next up, we're going to go with Barella, and I would specifically recommend the Inform just because you're going to get up to that 80 pace point, and you're also going to get a little bit of a shooting boost and defending boost, and he's also very affordable. He's 60K. He's in this team of the week. Look at the dribbling, right? 91 agility, 91 balance, and that's what you'll notice about a lot of the midfielders that I'm selecting. They have high dribbling and good enough passing, right? So while Barella's passing isn't as good as maybe, let's say, De Bruyne or Modric's, he's got very good dribbling, and he's got some very unique stamina, right? 95 stam is crazy, and Nkunku only has 78, and the other midfielders, the highest is De Jong with 89. So Barella is literally going to play for the badge for you all game, and he's never going to get tired. So that's a huge positive with Barella's card, and that's why I am totally recommending him to all of you. Now, we're going to talk next up about probably the two most passionate and best midfielders for price in this game, and I'm going to point them out together. Now, I have Valverde's Player of the Month, so I'm going to go ahead and slot him in there, and we're going to talk about Llorente. Now, if you made it to this point in the video, I'm going to be quite honest with you. These two players should be 400K a pop. They easily. I use Valverde and Llorente in like 7 positions every game. All right, so Valverde's got high, even his gold card is insane. 4-star weak foot. Not the best agility balance, but just everywhere else on the card, just broken. I mean, just absolutely broken, right? 89 short passing, 86 shot power, 93 sprint speed is nuts. And what's actually really unique about your Valverde compared to these other midfielders is I've got an architect on him. So on new gen, I make him lengthy, which means that he's going to have this like insane sprint boost. Combined with the fact that he already has 93 sprint speed. So that's where Valverde is actually like really unique. Also high. And then Llorente, I mean, what a player. He's actually only like 33K on the market. I don't even know how. And the thing with Llorente that's so crazy is that he could play right mid and center mid and right back. So it's just like this card is crazy. Whenever Llorente gets a promo card this year, oh my God, that card is going to be broken. Llorente was so good last year as well. Again, 90 stam and 88 stam for him and Valverde. So I couldn't recommend 2 players more than those two. They're just out of this world good. Sandro Tonali is still going to be in this list for me. And the nice part is you can kind of pick him up, and he's very affordable, and you could just slot him in a team with Barella, and you've got some crazy passionate Serie A midfield for like 80K max, right? 81 agility, 83 balance. For me, Tonali's more of a DM because he gives you those medium-high work rates. So that's where I would really place him if I did get him. 81 strength, 85 stam, 81 defensive awareness. I mean, you'll notice about a lot of the players that I'm choosing out, they've got all like 80 in almost every stat. I mean, the stats that Tonali doesn't have 80 in, they're not super relevant for a DM, right? Finishing, volleys, penalties, jumping, okay, that's probably important for a DM to win the aerial battles. Heading accuracy, it's not the most important. Team player, right? You never know what you're gonna get with a team player trait. Could be the secret to having passion. Now, moving on, this is probably going to be the most broken midfielder all year. I've completed his Once to Watch SBC. Barcelona are getting an upgrade for their Once to Watch cards, which would include Messi and Lewandowski, and this will happen whenever the new Team of the Week is released. But Messi is going to be an 86, and man, I have not used a player that I felt was so overpowered like Messi and Sorloth in a long time. It's been years in FIFA. Probably back to FIFA 20, where some golds were just insane for their price. This card is nuts. His gold is nuts because this is the same card, but I can only imagine when he gets an upgrade of +2s in every stat category. I mean, every single person is going to be wishing they had this card, and they can't get it, right? I think the next time they can really get it is if there's like that, I guess, campaign SBC party bag. So, yeah, what a card. Just so happy I went ahead and did this because I was a little bit hesitant because he was like 100,000 coins, but I went ahead, I made sure I did it. Everybody was telling me how crazy he was. And the main thing that I always look at with midfielders is when I play a game of FIFA or a match of FIFA, is the midfielder I'm playing against overpowered? Is he really annoying to pass? Messi has always been, like that level of just overall not having a good time playing against Messi. It always seems to be Kessie that I'm struggling against. Staying in the same league, it just really shows you how overpowered La Liga is this year. Thomas Lemar is nuts. I was using him as a left center mid really recently, and I was doing like Trivela shots. High as well for him, and look at his dribbling. I mean, 93 agility with 91 dribbling is just absolutely phenomenal. He's very fast. He's got the outside foot and finesse trait, so he was just absolutely banging in the long shots. Really enjoyed using Lemar. I thought he was very good, and for the price, if you think about it on the market, just really good value for him. In the La Liga again, for anyone that's looking to really save some coins, Tchouaméni is phenomenal. He really is good. Medium high, he's just purely a DM. He's a little slow, but the thing is you can make him lengthy with the right chem style if you boost his strength. So lengthy Tchouaméni is absolutely insane. He's catching up to everybody, and he's just overall a very good card. So I would totally recommend him to anyone who's on a little bit maybe of a cheaper budget. I would recommend the same thing here. Unfortunately, if you didn't get this special card, it was an SBC. He was only 30K. He's very good. And it seems to be that EA are always putting in just players from the Serie A that are so overpowered because this card is so good for the price that he was released at, which was like 30K. I'm using him still as a super sub. Like every game I play. So he's very good. His goal is very good. His goal is literally like this card. I want to give you guys a couple options that are cheaper. If we're going to move up a couple levels now, Marquisio and Yaya Toure are just out of this world. So I'm in the Elite Division in North America, and every time I play a pro, they have Yaya Toure and Marquisio. So these two guys are just very good. If you get lucky enough to get them in your hero pack, that's amazing. But they are so good. Marquisio, I think on the market's about 600K. High with the 4-4. The nice part too is you can change him. He's got a couple of options for positions between CDM and left mid, which is always nice. And again, right, he's only got 2 stats like lower than like I think 75, which is jumping and heading accuracy. Team player trait as well. I'm finding that to be the trait that's just like this guy is gonna play for the badge. Outside foot for Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure is crazy. I've gotten to use him actually in a foot draft. And he just won me the draft. Like, he was like so overpowered in the midfield. I was like, how am I allowed to use this card? It does not feel right. What is going on here? He's unfortunately though a lot more expensive on the market. We got a promo card right now, which is Thiago, that I think is really good. There's a lot about this card to like. He's 400K. I wouldn't recommend his gold, but he's got 5-star skills with all of the traits that you need to be successful in the midfield with this year. He's got 91 acceleration with 89 ball control. So 93 short passing, 91 long passing. And the thing is, he's got the outside foot shot. So a lot of the time, if you have a midfielder this year that has 3 or 2-star weak foot, you'll actually notice that they'll misplace a lot of passes. But if you use the Trivela, the outside foot on his strong foot, you are absolutely chilling. He's 400K on the market, and I just think overall he's a very solid card. He's a guy that I just think is going to do the job and nice for the Prem teams. We're going to talk about another hero that I really thought was good, Mascherano, and he's only like 150K. He's a lot more affordable than a lot of these other heroes. I used him as like a CDM, and the crazy thing is, like, I've hit a couple Trivela shots with him, and he's got 44 finishing, but the main part, to understand here about him at the DM spot, 89 reactions, 91 aggression, and base 91 stand tackling, 91 interceptions, 92 slide tackling. So even though he only has 76 pace, that is why my experience with this card was out of this world. And I was like, how is this guy so good? And it's just down to the fact that he's got the base insane defending, right? If it wasn't for the heading accuracy being 76, he would have like 91 defending, right? That's why it's 89. Top 5 in terms of like most passionate players I've used this year, Park Ji-sung would be there. I think he's a phenomenal center mid. I've seen him in a couple pro teams as well. He's fast. His dribbling is good. His passing is good. His defending is okay. It's not the craziest, but just a lot of passion. Again, funny that I'm mentioning everybody who's got passion has a team player trait. So maybe there's something to pick out there. I'm not 100%, but it seems like there's potentially a little bit of a trend there. But yeah, he's also not even that expensive. And again, this is another card that you definitely want to try to obtain somehow out of your hero pack. If you can get this card, he's great. Also with the Premier League links, right? So that also never hurts to have. Let's see, who else are we thinking about? Somebody that I used in the Rule Breakers promo that I loved is Calvin Phillips. He's a little bit slower, but seems to have a similar play style to Mascherano with like just constant interceptions. 87 interceptions, 91 stand tackling, 89 defensive awareness, 89 short passing, and again, a player that has higher acceleration than sprint speed, which I really value as a DM, because I think what's really important there, I think sprint speed is really important for somebody that's like a get in behind striker or a wide player, but acceleration I really value for center backs and CDMs because of the way that at least the new gen consoles are this year with the drop back kind of. You've always got this tight line that's running backwards, so an acceleration is going to be more important than sprint speed, because I do feel like positioning of midfielders is already quite deep this year. So that's where I find it very, very nice to have favorable positioning there. There's a lot of heroes. I mean, we're at the point of the game where a lot of these heroes are very good. Dirk, we got to point out, high, and just overall good stats. Another cheaper hero with, only about 100K price tag. And I think what's like really unique about this card is his finishing, right? You're not going to get 91 finishing out of a lot of midfielders. So that part about this card, I do find like very, very unique. Somebody that also is just included in the Rule Breakers promo as we wrap up kind of some of the better midfielders in this game. Sissoko has just a mental card. Not a card that I played against, not a card that I've even tried yet, but 150K for a medium-high DM who's already base lengthy with 93 strength and 88 sprint speed. I mean, this card has to be special. There's no way he's bad in game. I refuse to believe it. He's got everything to be very good. And again, he's 150K, and he's probably one of the most linkable options you can go with, right? France in the League One. I don't know how you can go wrong, with that. Now, if there's anybody looking for the cheapest center mid in this game that's probably the most overpowered for the genuine price of him, it's got to be Fred. Fred, I used it for a couple games this year. He is a god of intercepting in game. He wins every interception. He's got 83 interceptions, which is nothing crazy. But the nice part, I think, is really unique with Fred. He's got the high stamina at 94. But what's really cool about him is a lot of the time when you win the ball with a midfielder, you get this like kind of clunky action, and you don't get that with Fred because he's got 89 agility and 88 balance. So when you actually win the ball with Fred, you are able to turn and play out with him, which I find is extremely unique, and you don't get that out of everybody in this game. So I think it's important to value. And if you go on the market and look at Fred's price, I mean, how much is he? He can't be that expensive. He's literally discard, which is just insane for what he can provide you with in game. That feels like it's kind of wrong, but hey, 800 coins is going to give you that midfield. And then I've actually packed this card. I've not been able to use him much, but another Serie A midfielder that is just out of this world. Zambo is very good, and this is a card that is also going to get upgrades, so I think that's also important to point out that he's going to only get better, which is something really unique about these live cards that I really enjoy. He's only going to get better. Other than that, that's mainly the midfielders that are like, off the top of my head or any notes that I wrote down. All of these midfielders, no matter if they're like a mil or, very cheap, are all insane. Everybody in this team is just passionate, has a lot of crazy abilities. If we're going to kind of just remove one player, who I would remove Fred, so we could kind of keep talking about a couple of players. There's one player I have to find here that I've invested in this guy. So don't take it as I'm pumping this card to go up in price. I'm not. But this guy, Robert, there's something very unique about him. So he's in the La Liga, and he's 4'4", and he's got 97 agility. So you're not going to be, he's only 40K. You're not going to be able to get that kind of combination out of many midfielders in this game, and that's just kind of why I wanted to point it out. I think that's very unique with this card. And then, this La Liga is crazy. I think this guy's La Liga. So one guy I've had a lot of problems with in foot draft. This is funny. Just randomly like foot draft. Sergi Darder. This card is so annoying to play in draft. So watch out, just at the end of this video, watch out if this guy ever gets a promo card, because he's going to be very, very good. He's one of those guys like Fred where, Fred had better interceptions at 83. This guy only has 75, but this guy totally outplays the stats on his card. Thank you guys for watching the video today. Let me know who you guys enjoy most in the midfield spot, in this game. And then if you want to check out the attackers video, I'll put that down below as well. And thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Peace.